One of the questions that's come up for me when I first got this job was, how would you describe the Academy if you could do it relatively briefly? And I realize this is a question that comes up a lot because we are known, obviously, for 3.5 hours one night a year as the Grammys. But what about all the other things? So I kind of created a little bit of a soundbite to describe what the Academy does, and it's basically the 4 pillars of the Academy, and in no particular order. The first being membership and awards, because we are, by definition, a membership organization, and all of our culture and strength really derives from our membership. The membership is directly responsible for the awards process. So to the extent that we've got a strong, knowledgeable membership, the awards process works really well. And over the past couple of years, we've gotten a lot of praise for the kinds of nominations and awards that we've given in terms of being relevant, being up to date, and really judging excellence. So that's the first pillar. The second pillar would be what I call music education and archiving and preservation. These are part of our missions that are fulfilled by the Grammy Foundation. And the Grammy Foundation is a 501c3 charity and really spends its efforts in finding ways to supplement the fact that the arts in this country are really not a priority and need to be. If we would say that no child should go without being exposed to music in schools, that would be a mantra for us. So that's part of what we do in the Grammy Foundation through our programs to fulfill that mission. The other part is archiving and preservation of recorded works. This is an area where, as an industry, we really haven't done a very good job, and we kind of look over at our sister industry at the Motion Picture Academy, where they've created infrastructure where, the original films are all on celluloid, which are destructible and don't have an indefinite lifespan. So they've done a lot to preserve the great celluloid and the great films of that industry. On the music side, nothing had been done. So we went to Congress, and in partnership with the Smithsonian, were able to get a grant for archiving and preservation. We now have a national registry which we induct recordings into, and so the Academy continues to be involved in grants and preservation of recorded works, such as whether it's Bessie Smith's recording or the Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech, which is now preserved and safe. So those are the missions of that second pillar. Third pillar, philanthropy and charity for our own. And that is advanced primarily through the Music Cares Foundation, which raises money and brings in funds to help music people in crisis, whether it be a simple situation where a musician is down on his luck, can't pay his electric bills, and we anonymously, confidentially can go in and take care of that for him, to the more serious kinds of problems such as substance abuse and addiction recovery, where we have a health and human services staff around the country that literally is saving lives in the music community. So that's the third pillar. The fourth is advocacy. And in the current times, more than ever before, the entertainment industry, certainly the music industry, is fighting for intellectual property rights and copyright and the ability of a creative person to actually earn a living by creating the amazing, one-of-a-kind gifts that they are able to create. And so over the past several years, we've established a full-time office in Washington dedicated to advocacy with a lobbyist, and we've actually started something called Recording Arts Day last year, which was a concept coming out of my spending a little bit of time in D.C. over the past 2.5 years of my term. And I thought we were doing a great job, but I thought we could do better. And I challenged our D.C. representative to come up with the next plan. And what we came up with was something called Recording Arts Day, because in going to the Hill and talking with a lot of our Congress people, one theme that came back to me consistently was, you guys in the music industry, we see you fragmented. So we see the music publishers will come up and talk to us about their issues, and then we'll see the songwriters, and then we'll see the record labels, and then we'll see, the music merchants and so on. But we never see you guys as a unit. And the reality is that you're going to have to kind of come together, coalesce as a group in order to convince us to get behind the kinds of legislative initiatives that you're looking for to protect the industry. If you're fragmented, we're not going to be able to figure out any better than you are how to deal with this. And that stuck in my mind, and so what we came up with was something called Recording Arts Day, which we did for the first day last year, which was the coalition of more than 20 industry organizations coming together on one day. We had over 150 people. We had a bus show up at the Capitol and did a full day with Congress people talking about our issues, but as a unified group, everything from RAA to RAC to AFTRA to BMI and ASCAP to Harry Fox and NAM and NARM and so on and so forth. So we've really put a great coalition together to at least speak whenever we can with one voice. That's an example of sort of the Academy's advocacy efforts in the recent past.